fun. And the other thing I think which was a bit different then was there was virtually no traffic on the streets. In our village there was only one person with a car, he was the doctor. So we could play football on the roads, and it was a really good way of playing football with a tennis ball. And most of the traffic would be military traffic, army trucks, and then eventually in the war American jeeps, which are very exotic. And they used to practice on our village green, which was had a big pit dug out of it. And at the bottom of the pit was the village air raid shelter. And this was the communal shelter for all the people who, mostly old ladies living on their own, who didn't want to spend the night on their own in the air raids. They could all be together in this one area. And of course in the daytime it would be empty. So on rainy days it would be a perfect indoor adventure playground for us children. So it was an exciting and brilliant time to be a child.
Absolutely. And you were born in 1938.
Yes.
And your earliest memory is quite an incredible one. What happened?
It was 10 o'clock at night, 1941. I was asleep in bed. My bed was a small bed in the corner of my mother's bedroom. My father died a month before I was born, so my mother was bringing up myself and my two brothers. And of course she would be still working in the shop when I would be tucked up in bed. And one night a bomb came through the roof, straight above my head. But fortunately it came through at an angle, missed my bed by a few inches, bounced on the floor, over my mother's bed, hit the mirror on the wall, dropped into the fireplace and exploded up the chimney. It was an incendiary bomb, a firebomb, and of all the places for a firebomb to land, fortunately it landed in the fireplace. And my brothers managed to put the fire out before the house caught fire. And then my mother rushed across the street with me to our air raid shelter. Now we had a little paved backyard, so we couldn't dig a shelter in our yard. So our air raid shelter was across the village street behind the fish and chip shop. So that was quite often a nightly run under the searchlights to the air raid shelter. But those are kind of, obviously, it's a memory which nobody would forget. And of course everything could have been very, very different.
Absolutely. And is it your story from your book, War Boy, the end of the war on VJ Day, that your brothers took the blackout curtain from the house, and what did they do with it?
Well, they made it into a huge kite. They got a couple of bamboo pieces of wood and made it a cross, and then this wonderful kite. And I took it to the green. Several other boys had done the same thing. My kite was by far the biggest because my brothers were big teenagers, so they made this huge thing. And up it went in the, in the windy sky, and the string just broke, and up it went and disappeared. I thought forever. But later in the day, the greengrocer delivery lorry came to our shop to deliver more vegetables, and crash landed in the back of his truck was the big kite. So it had come home to roost, and it was a bit like what they were saying about the war. Then the war was over, all the dads and big brothers would come back from the army, just as my kite had.